All right, welcome everybody to the Dad Hat Chronicle Sports Show. And today is just myself, the Dad Hat, Ed Rivera, and then my good friend Donnie Wise, also known as the Mayor. You know what? That is your name now. You cannot go back
Newly
to
appointed.
anything else. That's it. You've been elected, and you are the Mayor for life, my friend. I love it. I think it's great. Well, how
All
you doing,
right.
Donnie?
I'm doing good. Been running, working today. So just got here by the skin of my teeth to get on the show.
You know what? I'll tell you this. It's kind of funny because we're trying to put my daughter to sleep and all that. We just got back from her first recital in kindergarten and all that stuff. And then I sit down and then I'm like looking at this course and everything. And Darla goes, "Don't you have your show?" I was like, "Oh my God, you're right." So just made it by the skin of my teeth as well. So we're good, my friend. We are good. That's how it goes, right? Just how it happens.
Okay. Yep.
But we're here. And just wanted to just get jumping in, right behind me. You see that right there is your Carolina Panthers currently playing against the Bears. Right now, let me
The
turn
Bears.
around. Yeah, up 10-3 right now. So, who needs to win more? Is it the Panthers just for moral victory? And obviously, I think the Bears just they want to lose, right? They just want to lose this game at all costs.
Yeah. I mean, the Panthers just need the moral victory. In fact, if the Bears win, then the Bears draft stock drops
Mhm.
more than if the Panthers win with the pick they got from the Panthers. So Bears just want to get through this game and lose and move on.
And they're playing this undrafted kid, right? Like, I mean, he just came out of nowhere. They say, I was like, oh,
Yep.
nope, Justin Field not playing. I was like, there was kind of like, like going back and forth with the head coach. I was like, maybe he'll play, maybe he doesn't. And then they're like, no, he's not playing. I'm like, no, don't
Yeah.
play him. Y- You know,
Exactly.
let him heal, you know,
Yep.
and then go from there. That's how it goes. So,
Yeah. They don't need any unnecessary wins right now.
no, they do not. They do not. They want to get, the highest pick as possible, and then they're going to get your Carolina Panthers pick as well. So, this is like a lose-lose game for both teams, right?
Yep.
Just because the Panthers, if the Panthers lose, then that stock goes, it does not matter to Chicago. So, like, do the Panthers want to win just for the sake of making that pick even worse for the Bears? Is that where we're at?
I mean that's a byproduct. I think the Panthers just want to win to just get
Win.
some momentum with something.
Mhm.
They're not really going anywhere, but they just want to get Bryce some reps, some consistent play, and they get a few wins under his belt. Maybe he gets a little extra boost of confidence from that, and they're not going anywhere this season.
Mhm.
They just
No, no.
they just don't want to. They just don't want to sit here and just be like a one or two win season throughout the whole
Yeah,
second half.
yeah, and that's demoralizing, right? Like, I mean, you
Yeah.
have a team, and trust me, I've lived through a team being 0-16. When
Right.
the Browns did that, and it was absolute torture every game, and you're like, "Oh God." When you thought they were about to pull the win, nope, nope, never mind. There's the loss right there.
Yep.
So
Right.
it's demoralizing. So I'm glad that at least they're not gonna go 0-6, 0-17, right? I mean, that's gonna be one of those things that's just is over with, but it's like, all right, let's try to get some more wins under our belt now.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're a guy like Justin Fields and you hear all this, I don't know how much these guys really hear versus all of us listening to it out here, but I mean, he's got to want to play to prevent them from drafting his replacement, if
Oh,
at all possible.
100%.
But they won't let him play because he's hurt and they got to get him healthy. So he's kind of stuck. But I mean, maybe he looks at it and says, "Hey, they're going to draft my replacement. I'm going to go somewhere else that maybe I can do better."
I was just gonna ask you, so let me ask you let me put it this way then. Does he wanna play just so he can put some tape and say, "Listen, even with a bad offensive line, I was able to do this, so whoever's gonna pick me next, right, whoever's I'm gonna be getting traded to, this is what you're getting." I mean, because I still
Yeah.
think that let's be honest, that offensive line for the Chicago Bears is not good. Coaching is not good. They're not doing Justin Fields any favors, of what's going on there. Granted, he's also not helping the situation, but I think it's more of he's a byproduct of what's going on right now with the Chicago Bears.
Exactly. And there's got. I mean, everybody goes to a place that you don't know how it's going to work out till you get there.
Mhm.
You kind of see what they can do. I mean, he's better than a lot of guys that are having to scramble to play now for other guys that are hurt. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's got to be a coach out there that's like, man, I could take Justin Fields and do something with him, because he's in that mold of your Kyler Murrays, your Jalen Hurts, your guys like that. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know how Bryce Young's going to work out for us, and I'm not saying I'd want Justin Fields, but I mean, heck, Justin Fields with the Panthers might even be a better scenario right now.
Uh, That's sad though. Like, like Justin Fields, he's not a bad quarterback. Let's be honest. He's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
He's actually a pretty decent quarterback. He can, because he's one of those quarterbacks that can just get out of the pocket and create some opportunities for the wide receivers to get open. So I just don't think that the opportunity is there. And let's be honest, last year was a disaster. The year before was a disaster. This year is an absolute just dumpster fire, and it has not worked out at all. I'm in a and as far as the Panthers is concerned, like I hope that Frank Wright stays. I mean, he's a good head
Yeah.
coach. You know what I mean? He's the
Yeah. I
kind of
mean,
head coach that'll turn
yeah.
the situation around.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that owner, you got to have some patience with that. I mean, you pulled him in to be your first real stamp on it head coach, and and he's done good where he's been. The problem with everybody in the NFL right now, though, is where are the offensive line? Because everybody's got offensive line problems, and if you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is.
No, I mean with the Browns, with my Browns, they just
Yeah.
lost Jedrick Willis, so he's out. Right, that's their left tackle. He's done now. They're trying to shuffle around. The makeshift offensive line that they have. And you're right. If your offensive line is not good right now, forget it. It's over. You're not doing anything. It's just it's gonna, like
Yeah.
you said, it's gonna be very hard for your quarterback, whatever that quarterback. It could be Tom Brady, right? And it doesn't matter. What's up, Patrick Larson? Look at this guy.
Legends. I don't know about legends.
Well, we're
We might be
legendary.
legends in our own mind.
I know, right? So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about, we'll get back to NFL here because obviously we got to pick our games here at the end. But like, I want to get into MLB, and obviously there's been some hires. We talked about some of the hires that's already happened. But between our last show on Tuesday and now Thursday, Ron Washington hired as the Angels in the Angels front office. They were hired by the Angels front office. So, what are your thoughts so far on that one? And then, I want to touch on the whole Craig Counsell situation. Like, that was a little bit of an iffy situation. That just happened. It was just, it didn't end right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was weird. As far as Ron Washington, I'm glad to see him get a chance. I mean, did anybody see this coming? I haven't heard any whispers or anything that he might be out there for a job. And it's funny that on the heels of the Rangers winning the World Series, the team he took to the World Series twice and couldn't get it done, the Angels
Wins the
hired him.
World Series, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad for him. I like him. I've liked him as a manager ever since his first managerial job with the Capital City Bombers here in Columbia.
Oh, wow.
Way back,
Yeah.
back in the 90, 91, something like that. He was that was his first managerial job of any level, I think. And I think after that he went up to the A's. And anyway, I like Ron Washington. I think it's the Angels are in the situation where they don't know what's going to happen with Shohei. Trout, I mean, Trout's a great player. He's one of the best players out there, but
He's only one man.
He's only one man. It's like the organization is not doing anything other than those guys right now. And I don't know what that next answer is, but hopefully Ron can get out there and, at least from a managerial standpoint, make a difference. But he's still got to have pieces to work with, and he doesn't have them right now.
Let me ask you this, and because I this is something that I've been thinking about is, and I've talked to a couple of people already about this, but like the fact that they hired Ron Washington, he is in his 70s, right? And my concern is, and I've seen this, prime example, Tony La Russa just recently, right? That you have an older manager that I don't know. And again, I don't know the situation in Atlanta because in Atlanta he was beloved, but he was only the first base coach, right? So he wasn't really the manager there. But connecting with those young players right now, or is he the right person to turn around the whatever is happening in Los Angeles, because it is bad, right? Let's just be honest, right? Shohei Ohtani may not be coming back to the Angels, right? I mean, that's kind of like you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I don't know. And then you
Yeah,
have Trout, like, who's injury machine now.
I mean, I not that he is. I think that I think it's just one of those scenarios like Dusty. You're bringing in just a seasoned veteran
Mhm.
guy with managerial experience to try and just like make the managerial position not a problem, and then
Yeah.
start working to fix the other problems. Because I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know much about who their manager was before. I just never paid attention to the Angels, so I'm not even sure who he was, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That he replaced. But I mean, I think it's one of those things like that. That just like with Dusty Baker being brought in. Okay, this guy. I mean, you see all these videos of Ron Washington working with these players, and the guy's a great teacher. He's got a great
I was
baseball
just
mind.
took the words right out of
It's
my
just
mouth.
yeah, I mean, he's just one of those guys that is a great baseball guy. So I'm hoping it works out for them.
I have a
Look at
good.
Patrick Larson chiming in. Phil Nevin. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to go to something that Steve here. Steve, yo, what's up, Steve? Good amount of MLB early offseason moves, which is the best, managers, right? You know, there's been some already, we've seen, some of these moves, right? The San Francisco Giants got their guy. That was a whole bad situation in San Diego. Like I don't who's leading who, what's going on in San Diego. That's a mess, right? When you were thinking they're supposed to be a contender to go far in the playoffs, and they can't even make the playoffs, for God's sakes, right? With all that money that they're spending. Then you have my team, the Guardians, right? They just hired a first time manager, um, just on the footsteps of um, Tito retiring. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's going to
Yep.
be some big shoes to fill. And then you have the whole situation between Milwaukee and the Cubs, which is within the same division too.
With the jump from the Padres to the Giants and then Council to the Cubs, it almost seems like these guys know something is up in the front office and they're getting out while they can. I mean, I don't know if
Mm,
that's truly the case, but I mean, technically they both were in what you would consider good situations. I mean, the Padres appeared to be a good situation. Milwaukee making the playoffs. I mean, all of a sudden you just jump ship. It's like, what are you jumping ship for? I mean, I know maybe it's money or not or
yeah.
something, but it could just be they see some internal things going on that nobody knows about yet.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Donnie Wise, office of commissioner. Hey, listen, he is the mayor. All right, buddy. He is the mayor. And then I've gotten the Guardians job. No, I'm good. I'd rather stay a talking head. Okay, so you're right. There could be something going on, right? I mean, obviously, Milwaukee is in a small market, mid market, right? They're not the Yankees or not San Diego, but like that's a market that is not spending a lot of money. They're not going to spend a lot of money, just like Cleveland, right? Cleveland
Right.
lowest payroll in baseball, so like I mean, those are going to be really hard shoes to fill, and it's going to be difficult because you got some young players. Granted, two Gold Glovers, right? We talked about this on the last show, right? So we got two Gold Gloves. Should have been three with third base, but it's okay. It happens. Like I mean, you got to give other players the shot
Right.
here. The one that intrigues me the most, out of that was the Milwaukee to the Cubs with Greg Council. Something happened, like you said, he knew something was up. He's been with the organization for 19 years in one form, or another, right? In
Yeah,
different
that's
capacities.
the crazy thing. It's like, was he just ready for a change? I mean, was it as simple as he just needed a change? Was it as simple as a change and a lot more money? Or is
Because he is
it
the highest
something
paid
that,
manager right now.
yeah, I mean, it's just, but he's leaving a good situation. That's always weird when you've got a guy that just walks away from what appears to be a good
Contenders
situation.
every year. So I don't
Yeah,
understand that. I really don't. To go in now to Chicago, right? That's a major market where managers, a lot of the times they cannot handle the spotlight, right? Because you're going to get crushed on every move you make, whether good or bad. Somebody's going to have an opinion on that. And
yeah,
in Milwaukee, you're the guy. You're it. You know,
yeah.
so in Chicago now you're competing against the White Sox, which they're also doing God knows what they're doing in Chicago, the White Sox. That's
I don't
just
know if I'd call that competing. They're just
they're just
they're
existing at this point.
existing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're on life support.
yeah. Well,
This
I
feels
think too it could be the Cubs are looking to get away from that nepotism situation with their managers. I mean, they've had a lot of former Cubs come in as managers, and it just hasn't gotten them over the hump either.
yeah, but he was
So,
doing really good though. He was turning the team around.
yeah, yeah.
Is it a lack of
Again, that's
it's
what
just
makes it
being
weird.
impatient, being impatient,
Maybe, maybe,
you know, because they were
or
they were
maybe they
turning it
felt like
around.
he's gotten as much as he could get out of the players being
Mhm.
a former player too. I don't know.
Steve, on the other hand, is managing a baseball club different than being a head coach of a football team? I heard Texas manager say, well, that's a good point. 53-man roster, 25-man roster. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, like a manager at the end of the day, the head coach of a football club will leave it up to the offensive and defensive coach to handle their side of the business, right? That's why you have a offensive line coach. Then you also have your running back. So, everybody has their own job to do. The head coach would just really much just make sure that everything is being followed according to the plan that they set. So I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
their
don't think
job
head
is.
coaches in the NFL have as much input like directly during a game on all situations of personnel like a manager in baseball.
Yeah. And managing baseball, like, all right, so let's say, obviously we listen to analytics, just like in football, but like, you also have to read body language when it comes to a major league baseball, especially with a pitcher, right? Like, I mean, what is his body language as he's pitching, as he's getting prepared? I'm big on that. I'm huge on body
Right.
language. And
Yep.
then it's like you can definitely tell where some people are not right, are not there, right? Their stuff could be good, but it's just not working for them
Yeah.
on one night
Yeah.
to the other.
I'm all about the feel of the game, and I
Mhm.
like a manager that can overlook the analytics for what he's seeing and what he's feeling. I mean, I understand it's part of the game. It's a huge part of the game these days, and I guess in a way, it's a good thing because you have all these statistics that you can go by, and situations present themselves. Just don't rely on the book as the only answer. It's not like, hey, I'm getting ready to do surgery. Let me consult my book and where do I cut? Oh, it says the best place to cut is here.
Yeah.
No, you got to assess the situation. You're a baseball guy. You got to put your gut into it and let the analytics sort of be a support mechanism, not
Oh,
the answer.
good point. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this. And then Steve, yes, he is the mayor. Obviously, you don't know Segra Park down in Columbia, South Carolina. You need to look it up. The man is the mayor of that ballpark. There's ownership, and then there's the mayor. I'm just wanted to put that out there, Steve. Okay, so there's a couple of news in baseball, but that are not player or manager related, and one of them is Bryce Harper. It's going to be the full-time first base for the Phillies. It's
Oh,
very interesting. Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been working too hard.
Yeah,
Wow.
Harper is going to be the full-time first base for the team. It's interesting, right? Because he did really good during the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, now he has the off season to work those kinks out, right? February, we're right around the corner. So that's when, pitchers and catchers start showing up. I'm him. I'm showing up early so I can get some extra work at first base.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's transition from the outfield to first base for somebody like him, at least. I can see that being a pretty sort of an easy situation. He,
Mhm.
I mean, granted, first base isn't the hardest position to play. It's more
No,
just
that obviously you can
analyzing
tell
the pitchers and
the
who's coming to cover and things like that.
right. But
But
first base is like, when you're no longer able to play at third, or you're no longer able to play in the outfield. It's like, all right, brother, let's move you to first base. You don't have to
Yeah.
do a lot. You
We
know,
don't need your legs at first base, so you
we
don't have to worry about covering ground. You need don't take the wear and tear, but the bat and the glove are all we need.
that's what we need. We need you to bat. That's what we're here for. Your bat is the special thing that we need right now. So,
Yep.
and then also, and then and the storyline that refuses to die is the Oakland mayor is asking the owners to reject the move to Vegas.
Wow. I mean, that mayor has been fighting hard and
Gotta give her credit
basically,
for that.
oh man, she's throwing the dirt at all of the stuff that the A's say too. So, it depends on
She
what you
has the
believe, but
receipts
I
and
believe
pulling
her
them
more than the
too.
owner. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that she's pulling the receipts. Like, okay, oh, you said this. Nope, you actually said this, and then we gave you the money, but you just wanted it as a bargaining chip. So, I'm all for them staying in Oakland. I am all for it. I'm at this point. I'm all for them
I
staying
am
in
too.
Oakland.
And I hope that the league takes that approach as well. Unfortunately, they're probably going to be like, "Hey, Vegas is a cool market now."
But
Um, you
why
know,
not use Vegas as an expansion then?
well, exactly. I agree with that. That was where I was going to go with that. Is like keep Oakland where they're at. When you start looking at expansion, do Vegas. I mean, does that hurt North Carolina? Does that hurt Expos potentially? I mean, the others that everybody's praying for, sure, but
Vegas is a
Oakland
big
needs to be
market.
Oakland.
Vegas
Yeah,
is a big market. That's why they want it, because obviously, as you know, the commissioner said that baseball is a what? It's a regional sport. You know,
yeah.
dumbest
Well,
thing I've
are
ever
people
heard.
in Vegas going to support a baseball team? That's the other thing. I mean, I guess
But
they're supporting the other sports right
yeah,
now, but
but
the
baseball is
NFL is different.
NFL is different. It's a shorter season than baseball, right? Basketball is shorter season. You have 82 games. You know what I mean? Saying 80,
And it's
81 games.
hot in July.
That's what
It's
I'm
hot.
saying. That's a lot
Yeah,
of games to go throughout the year. Are you able to support a team for that long period of time in Vegas?
yeah. I mean, unless they build a stadium like the Rangers did to combat the heat as well,
Retractable and
that's
all that.
yeah. Money's not a problem for Vegas. It's just a matter of who wants to spend it. But
Oh, the
I'm,
owners are gonna get the city to spend it. Come on now.
exactly. So, I mean, as long as baseball will let them leave Oakland, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
But I applaud her for fighting for them, and
Oh yeah, keep
I
fighting.
just hope this is what I hope. This is what I hope they don't do is move them to Vegas, and then a few years later they give Oakland another team. I cannot stand that in any sport when they do that. I
Cleveland.
mean,
I lived
yeah,
through that. I
Charlotte
lived
with the
through it.
Hornets. I mean, they let
Right?
the Hornets go to New Orleans, and then they give them a different team, and then they give them their name back. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and that's what I just don't understand that. I don't understand. I don't understand. So
Drives me nuts.
up a wall, dude. I
Yep.
cannot. I don't understand that part. So, okay. So, I like a couple of questions here that I have. One of them from Phil, and I wanted to take on this one. How early is too early to put up Christmas decorations? You know what? I'm glad you said that because you asked that question. Because on the way home, we noticed Darla and we noticed that a couple of people already have Christmas lights. Now, to me in the Rivera household, as soon as Thanksgiving is done, the very next day, that's when I start putting up Christmas lights. To me, that's when you put Christmas lights.
Yep. That's why we have a long weekend for Thanksgiving, and that's why Thanksgiving's on Thursday because it gives you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to
That's
put
what
up your
I'm
Christmas
saying.
lights.
Yeah. If and granted, obviously we celebrate Christmas and we celebrate Three Kings here, right? So we keep it a little bit longer, a little bit past in January, right? Mid-January. That's what I usually take. But all in all, it's like, dude, we are here, like, and I'm sure you saw it too down in South Carolina, that they were already putting out at Home Depot, Lowe's, and everywhere Christmas decorations. Like, dude, Halloween just got done. We're not even, a week done with November. We still got Thanksgiving. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I saw a few places that they had the Halloween stuff out in September, and when it got to be October 1st or that first week of October, they're like, okay, we've kind of sold everything everybody's going to get for Halloween. Let's go ahead and start putting Christmas. And you started to see everything shift around, and early Christmas stuff started hitting shelves. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, people.
Like, dude, you guys gotta chill. Let's Ed Claus comes out on 11/24. Hey, listen, that's just the way it goes, brother. And I love Christmas music. My first song that I listened to, All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey. That has to be the first song that I hear for Christmas as soon as Thanksgiving is done.
Oh man, I don't even know what my first one is, but it is certainly not that one.
I love it. Phil goes, I just put Santa hats on my Halloween pumpkins. That's good. You know what?
Yep.
Multi-use. I love it. I gotta go for another one here, and then we'll move on to other things. But Steve says that who is the early bet for World Series 2024 winner? The A's are a huge underdog. The A's are not going. That is just not going to happen. I would put my money on the A's losing 100 games.
Oh yeah, I believe so too. I don't know who do you think the early favorite should be? I mean, I know there's going to be some standard ones, but
Yeah, you got your standards, right? The Dodgers, you got the Braves,
Dodgers,
right?
Braves,
And
Phillies.
that's the national, right? American League, I still got to put. They have not lost anybody just yet in Houston, so Houstoners are still there.
Yep.
Texas, I mean, they just won, so they still, they're still a favorite.
I think Houston, Texas. Was Baltimore a fluke this year? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if I'd put them a favorite.
I put them a contender in the
Yeah.
playoffs. How's that? Like, I won't put them as a World Series, going to the World Series just yet. Tampa, maybe, but we'll see what happens, right? Tampa's always around. And I cannot put anybody else, to be honest with you. I love to say, Patrick, I love to say the Guardians. At this point, I'm gonna wait and see with the Guardians this year. Steve, with the Yankees, I don't know, man. That's a whole hot of mess there. And I got my boy.
I'm a Yankees fan, and I'm not sure about that. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, and I wouldn't call them a contender. I wouldn't even necessarily call them guaranteed for the playoffs right now, just going into the season. I mean, just always hopeful that they will be, but I just don't know. I mean, I wish we were one of those guys making a managerial change.
Yeah, they should have made a managerial change. They should have, 100%. Eric Lichtenberg, Baltimore Rays and Twins. Okay, Eric, I love you, buddy. You're my boy. Represented for the Twin Cities. Let's I don't know about the Twins, man. I don't know. I like it though. Baltimore.
Yeah, Patrick, not the Jays.
Yeah. Patrick. I'm sorry, Patrick. I can't. I love the Jays, and I know you're a Jays fan. I just don't know. Don't know about that, my friend. Don't know about that. So we'll see. Let me look into in this deal. Let me look into. I haven't looked at the sports books on the odds on the World Series yet, but we'll see how that looks as well when it comes to that, my friend. Okay, I'm trying to look. I have not seen anything. As far as moves for Ohtani, nothing yet. Obviously, I think didn't we just talk about this? I say that I think it's going to be Seattle for one of the contenders for getting Ohtani this year, and now they're saying that the Cubs are one of the big heavy favorites to like go heavy on Ohtani as well.
I could see that. I mean, they got the money to do it, so yeah, that's interesting. The Cubs.
Yep. And so we'll see. There's some interesting things going on in baseball right now. We'll see. Nothing, as far as players, I don't know, man. I don't have anything
right.
on that.
Here's the odds. This I just pulled it up real quick just to see what the betting odds are right now.
Ooh,
13 to 2 favorite. Can you guess? We've named them.
Dodgers.
All 5 of the top ones we named.
So you got Dodgers.
They're second at 7 to 1.
Really?
Yeah. Astros are third at 9 to 1. Texas Rangers also third at 9 to 1. The Phillies are fifth at 10 to 1. So who do you think is 13 to 2?
They did. Who did we bet? Braves?
Braves. Atlanta Braves are the favorite right now, 13-2 odds.
So was the Braves losing? Was that a fluke?
I think so. I mean, they had a great team. They really had a great team.
That was a dominant team.
I just don't. Yeah, I just think that.
And if you leave it up to our friend Paul, right? He said that he would just disqualify them on just two things, the chop, right, and then two, that Quickery logo on that sleeve.
Yeah, that is bad. That's one of the worst of the advertisement ads. I'll give him that.
That was horrible. That was a horrible one. We did talk about it on the Deadhead Chronicles podcast. You guys got to take a look at that one. Listen to that one.
I heard that the other day.
Yeah, so it was an interesting conversation. Next week we'll come up with the last part of that whole thing. Jay's the dark horse. All right, Patrick, I love you, buddy. They're a horse. They're a horse, my friend.
I'll put it this way: they're not in the bottom half.
So Cleveland is in the bottom half.
They're somewhere in the middle. Yeah, the Jays are not in the bottom half. They're somewhere in the middle.
White Sox, bottom.
Yep. A's, bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Angels, bottom.
Angels, bottom. Royals are probably, unfortunately, right now. They're climbing, but they've got a lot of young prospects, but they're not up there yet.
Yeah. What's Baltimore's odds? Our friend Steve wants to know.
It only listed the top 5. Give me a second. I'll find it.
I like it. Yeah. As you know, and like I said, you have the White Sox, you got the Royals, they're Tigers, bottom. They're still not there yet. That's not a team that's gonna do anything. A's, and it's really hard to see these teams really making a jump year over year, unless they make some big signings or anything like that to help out the club. But I highly doubt that they're going to do that. I mean, look at the White Sox, right? The White Sox had a pretty decent lineup, and they couldn't get anything done.
Here are the bottom 5, 100-1 and above. There's a jump from 60-1 up to 100-1. 100-1. There's 3 teams at 100-1 in the bottom 5. Senators. I look at the W and I say Senator. Nationals, Royals, and White Sox.
Really?
And then 150-1 are the A's and the Rockies. That's the bottom
the Rockies.
5.
Rockies are they've
Guardians, Angels, Pirates, and Tigers are all tied at 60-1.
That's not bad.
Back to the top for just a second. Tampa Bay and the Yankees are holding down that tie for 6th spot at 15-1. Patrick's Blue Jays at 16-1. Orioles 16-1. Padres 16-1. That's your top 10 or top.
What do the odds makers see in the Padres that we're not seeing?
Potential. I mean, they've got some solid players. I just don't think they got a lot of players. They don't have a team. That makes sense.
A lot of individuals.
They're not cohesive. Yeah, a lot of individuals. They're not cohesive. So
okay, let me ask you this. Obviously, Juan Soto's not coming back to the Padres, but do they need to get rid of some of those players that have been there in order to do a clean? Tatis Jr.
I was just going to say Tatis probably needs to go. I mean, with all the issues that they had with him and all that last year, and just his attitude with the fans and he needs a new environment. They probably need to move on from him.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
Sometimes the environment just gets to a point where it's like everybody needs to like step back. Let's all go catch a clean breath and do something different. And a lot of times it works out for both when something like that happens.
Absolutely. It works out in the NFL, right? I hate to say it again, and I keep bringing this one up, but Baker Mayfield, look what he's done in Tampa.
Right. Yeah.
What's up, Lynn? How you doing, girlfriend?
Hi, Lynn.
Yeah. I mean, it could be one of those situations where it is time for a break from with some of those players. I'm going to say there's more than just one that need to probably go somewhere else and then develop somewhere else. It's
Yep.
10-6, by the way. Your boys are still up.
Yeah, I thought it was 10-3 a little while ago. I didn't realize Chicago had scored another field
There you
goal.
go. So, all right. So let's move on to our favorite sport this summer, this winter so far. The fall and not winter, the NFL. All right. We've got to pick our winners. Last week was interesting, right? I mean, we had some interesting games going on. Uh, that was just we don't understand what happened there. But I'll go over a couple of those games last week. Steelers and Titans, 20-16. That was a close game. Titans had a chance to win at the end. We were watching that game. Chiefs Dolphins again. That was in Frankfurt. Dolphins had at least a shot at tying the game, and it just didn't happen. Then you had Falcons, Vikings. That was interesting, right? Because you got Josh Dobbs, who had not taken any practice at all with the team, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, that was a fun surprise there, really.
And I'm a fan of Dobbs. He's always been a good player, super smart, right? We were just talking about that. The guy is just super. He's a genius, astrophysicist, whatever I think it is. So he worked for NASA during the off season. Come on now.
Exactly.
My Browns 27 put. They Cardinals laid a goose egg, but I mean they were on the third string quarterback with the Cardinals, so I was not expecting much on that one. All right, let's take a look. Patriots, God, they're just a dumpster fire. I don't even know what's going on. Mac Jones needs to go, and they're probably going to move on from Bill at the end of the
Yeah, I
year.
mean, I keep hearing this week about, could he be gone in the next week or two leading into the bye? I mean, I don't know. He's been there a long time. That'd be a hard pull for Robert Kraft to dump him in the middle of the season.
They're not going to do. They're not going to do a midseason thing. That's just.
I think
bad.
that's just a talking heads point. I think everybody likes to throw it out there because the Patriot hate and stuff. But yeah, I don't see them doing that. I think. I just wonder if Bill at the end of the season is going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to step down.
It's a mutual thing, right? Let's just part ways and get out of here.
Exactly.
Okay, so other games of note, Bengals. They put a whooping on the Bills.
Oh man, Bengals are looking good now that Joe's back, kind of healthy, and yeah, I mean they're looking strong. Defense is looking pretty good too. They might make a push. I mean, they've got the advantage that nobody is running away with the season, so it's not like they got to chase down anybody at 5-3. They're still well in
right now. If the postseason started, they're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
The whole AFC North is in the playoffs as of today.
Yeah,
which is crazy, right? Bills got huge disappointment so far. They have not looked good at all this year.
Now the Bills and Chargers, they're both in that just weird situation. I mean, the Chargers have been in that situation for years. It's like they built up a window with Phillip Rivers and then it closed on them. They built it up again with Herbert, and it's like
they did get a big win against the Jets though, 27-6.
Yeah, but it was the Jets.
It was the Jets. You're right. And then some of the talking heads that we're talking about this is that the Jets defense at the end of the game, like towards the end, they were like, we're done.
Yeah,
we can't do this. A couple of things I love here, Steve. Yes, you said that Baker's actually doing pretty decent down in Tampa. I know, buddy. I know you don't want to hear it as a Browns fan yourself as well. I get it, my friend. I get it. But, it's drama talk from Lynn, what she's talking about, the Patriots, right? That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Drama. That's what it is. It's just for, because it's the Patriots. Patrick, Joe Burrow. Yeah, man, that kid. I love how he says, like, when they was like, oh, can Ohio State claim me? I was like, well, I went to school at Ohio State. I played football at LSU. He's not wrong.
Right. Exactly.
And I love this one. AFC North equals AL or NL Central. Oh. Let me get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
As of right now. So, all right, my friend, let's go into some games here. Obviously, Panthers Bears right now 10-6. They're going into the halftime right here. So Panthers are still up. That should be an interesting game. Okay, Patriots and Colts, Frankfurt. You know, I have no hope for the Patriots right now. I don't think they're going to pull it off. They're 2-7. They have the most losses in their conference right now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The Colts are not great either. Everybody's
And
been waiting for the Minshew mania to hit, and it hasn't hit.
and the line
But
says it. Look, Indy's only a 2.5 point favorite.
yeah, so this is
Um,
just it's the worst game Germany could have gotten. So
right, the NFL was like, ugh, can we put another bad game again?
yeah, but they
Jeez.
gave them the Dolphins and Chiefs last week, so it's like, okay, we'll give you a top game, we'll give you a bottom game.
We'll give you a crappy game. Exactly. Bengals at Texans. Cincinnati right now, they are favorite, 6.5 point favorite right now. That's going to be a good game, man, because Texans have been playing pretty good. Bengals, obviously, we were just talking about Joe Burrow finally is, clicking, and, he's playing really good. Chase, another, that kid, man, that kid can play.
Yeah, the Bengals, I think, are going to run away with this one a little bit. Texans are good, so it's not going to be a blowout, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be double-digit win by Bengals on this one.
Okay,
Never respected Joe Burrow more.
listen, Mike. Just because you couldn't be here tonight because you chose not to, does not mean that you can just go ahead and start talking crap about the Ohio State #1 team in the country. By the way, so goodbye. All right, let's talk. I mean, come on now. And then Patrick Larson. That's the LSU Tigers. So calm down, man. Leave them be. Leave Ohio State alone. All right, Vikings at Saints. New Orleans 3-point favorite. Josh Dobbs got the nod with the Vikings. Carr, I don't know what's going on with the Saints. They thought they were going to get something more than they did, and they're not getting it.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I think he's on the tail end of his career.
He's become more of a backup
whatever,
at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's a quality backup. He's not a good starter anymore. I think it's just. I mean, as far as the game goes, that's an anybody can win this game. I don't know.
That's a 50-50 shot right there. That 3 points, that's just a given. We were just talking about that last week.
I mean, if I'm picking the Vikings just because they're at home. And I'm going to give Dobbs the nod that he's going to come in fired up after what happened last week. And
New Orleans
this is a team that – no, it's Saints at Vikings. You sure?
Yeah, no, Vikings at Saints.
Well, NFL page has it backwards.
Interesting. Let's just go with that. I believe you, my friend. I believe you.
I'm going to stay with Vikings.
Yeah, I like it.
I believe in Dobbs right now. I'm just going to go with Dobbs right now because I don't think the Saints have been very good or consistent either.
Very consistent. Exactly. All right, so let's move. I'm with you there. I'll give the nod to the Vikings on that one. What about Steelers Packers? Steelers only at 3.5. Again, I'm very this one. I thought that the line would have been more than 3.5. The Steelers have been playing. Their defense is good. Scary good.
I mean, and they're 5-3. Packers are 3-5. I'm surprised too that that's not a higher spread there. And Steelers are at home. Yeah, I think Steelers are going to take this game. And
so do I. Even though I still don't
be a
believe
hard win for them.
Even though I don't believe in the Steelers QB, I believe in their defense.
Yeah.
So, all right, Bucks and Titans. We got Will Levis is going to be starting for the Titans. Bucks with Baker Mayfield. And here's the lowest spread right now, and I'm on ESPN, right? But they got the lowest spread at 1 for Tampa.
That's basically Tampa not being favored at home because they're not even getting the home team 3-point.
They're not getting the home discount at all, man. Dobbs and GA high school product. Oh, look at Patrick trying to win some points with Mike there. Look at that.
Said he's going to comment on his tennis news
Yeah,
instead.
we're
So
not
he's going
gonna
to try
go
to
ahead and
insert
that's
that.
why I ignored it. And goodbye. All right. So who do we got there? Like,
Um,
do we got Titans or do we got the Bucks?
I mean, I don't know. This Levis kid's pretty good too. So I mean, there's a lot of games that are just a
Oh
pick 'em. There's
man.
a lot of pick 'ems. I'm going to go with Baker in the hot hand though at home. Um, Better
Okay.
record.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with it.
I think they get it done at home. It'll be a close game, I think.
You think it'll be less than a field goal?
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet you. I bet the Buccaneers kick a field goal to win it, probably.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on now to Jaguars 49ers.
Hey, a
Uh,
good game finally.
Look at that, Steve saying that Titans and Will going all out. Steve does not agree with your take on the Buccaneers. I think, and I'll say this because I know Steve. Okay, he just doesn't like Baker Mayfield. I'm guessing is what it is. What do you think, Steve? You tell me.
I
Uh,
I kind of got that when he put the Baker question mark up there real fast. So.
I know, I know. He's not a believer in Baker at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still not a believer in Baker in Cleveland. Cleveland Baker absolutely sucked so bad. So that's why he left. He was told to go somewhere else. All right. So, but Jaguars, 49ers, San Francisco, only a 3-point favorite. Um, yeah, I think Jaguars are not even getting their discount on home.
Wait a minute. Did you say the 49ers are the favorite?
49ers are the favorite against the Jaguars. Yep.
God, I don't know about that, man. Jaguars are at home. San Francisco's defense hasn't been that good. I know they're bringing in what's his face from the Commanders, but I mean,
Yep.
oh man, but he was an Ohio State guy too, so that's not going to work out. I'm gonna go with Jaguars.
Oh
I'm
man.
going with my Clemson. I'm going with my Clemson Tiger boys.
All right. I'll
Trevor
go.
and ETN, they're gonna get it done.
Yeah, I got the Jaguars. Jaguars are I got them going on this one. I don't think 49ers are fully healthy just yet and they're having to figure out who they are, their identity. I'm going with the Jaguars. Here's a good one. Baltimore Cleveland.
Yeah, that's another good game there. I mean,
Cleveland's number 1 in defense. Ravens defense is good. The one that I give the Ravens the nod on is on their quarterback play right now. Because the quarterback for Cleveland has not been good. He's been injured. He's been on the throwing the ball. Granted, he did play good last week, but we have to say the full story. It was against the Arizona Cardinals, who are absolutely not good.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens are slightly the better team overall, just because of what you said there. I mean, I could see Cleveland coming in there and stealing one though, as well.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens will get it done at home.
As a Browns fan, I cannot and will never pick against the Browns when it's against the Ravens. I have to pick the Browns
Yeah,
on this one. I will not pick the Ravens to win. When it comes to the Browns, I got the Browns, but I
I
got
got you.
them.
I
I
understand
got
that.
them. I got them by 3 points or less.
I was about to say this might be another one of those under a field goal kind of games as well. I could see this definitely being a 1 or 2 point
Mm-hmm.
win.
Exactly. Here's another bad game. Cardinals Falcons, and Falcons are only as bad as the Cardinals are. The Falcons are only a 2-point favorite on this one.
I mean, are the Falcons the worst 4-5 team? I mean, they are so bad, but they still got 4 wins this year. It's just weird. I
Who's
mean,
another
they feel
team
like
that's
they're as
4?
bad as the Giants and the Jets. Well, the Jets got 4 wins too, but
The good
man,
thing
that
is that the teams
Falcons.
that are on and this is the NFL's worst week. These are the teams that are on a bye: Chiefs, Dolphins, Eagles,
Yeah,
whoo, and Rams. But no one cares about the Rams right now.
right.
I mean, I got the Falcons, but I'm not feeling good about this pick at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would just go. I would go with the Falcons just because the Cardinals. I mean, they got rid of their best quarterback that they had, and Kyler Murray's coming back, and he's not that great, and he's not health. I mean, hopefully he's healthy. I don't know, but I just don't think he's going to come back and do much of anything.
Jacksonville tennis lovers will win. Nope. Steve Baker on a comeback. I don't know if Baker's on a comeback. I think Baker is on a. He's on a. I'm putting as much tape on so that way for other potential suitors for him. I don't think he's the full-time answer at Tampa.
No, Baker's at his ceiling now.
Yeah.
So I don't see him going much higher. He's just looking to hang on as long as he can at this point.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with becoming a career backup. Jaguars get no respect. Get out of here. I'm not saying anything about that. Mike Sellers agrees with you. Steve, everyone not on a bye dog needs to win. I don't know, man. Chicago does not need to win this week. So, as a matter of fact, Chicago needs to lose this week, so they can get that pick, so they can keep that number 1 overall pick. Because the Giants, the New York Giants are, they're lurking in the background, just waiting, because oh, okay, they're winning. Let's go ahead and us lose. So,
exactly.
All right. Chargers Lions, Detroit a 3-point favor. I got the Lions. I'm not even going to mess around with this one. I think the Lions are the better team against the Chargers. Yes, the Chargers won last week, but like we were just talking about, they only beat the Jets. So I got the Lions.
Yeah, I do too. I don't even understand how they're only a 3-point favorite. I mean, this should be at least one of those 5-6 point games, easily. But they're a much better team. They're way more solid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cowboys Giants. Cowboys is a 17-point favorite. I think that's the biggest spread this week, and that's the only double-digit spread.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are essentially a Division II college level team right now. So I can see why that's the spread. They are bad.
They are bad. I mean,
oh man, when you started this season, did you think the Jets or the Giants would be the worst team? The Jets had Aaron Rodgers, but
yeah. But as soon as Aaron Rodgers went down in the first play of the season, I was like, okay, so it's Zach Wilson, so they're gonna suck. Forget it. It's done. It's over with. I just did not think that the Giants were gonna be this bad.
Yeah, they're at clean house again already.
Well, they should have never. Again, I go back to this. They should have never gave Jones that big contract. They should have never done that. Granted, I know they were, victims of the moment. Whatever. It was bad. Cowboys win this one easily, and I think the Cowboys, because they lost against the Eagles last week, they're a little mad. Even though they play really good, Dak Prescott actually played pretty good. If he would have just stayed in bounds, would have been good.
I think they can cover the spread. By the way, I can win this 17. I wouldn't say that normally, but I think they can.
I agree. I agree with you.
I could see this being like a 38 to maybe a 10 at best.
Oh, dude, I was going to say a 38-3 game.
Yeah, 38-3. Yeah, I mean, you got to figure Saquon maybe breaks one off somewhere, but that's it. I mean, who knows?
He'll make a break play. I don't know.
The only way they're going to keep it close is just to run, and keep the clock running.
Yeah, and keep the ball off of the Cowboys' offense. Yeah, I could see that happening. All right, so we got Seahawks at Commanders. Seattle is a 6.5 point favorite here. I think this is right on point. I think Seattle wins this one. They got embarrassed last week by Baltimore. When they went to Baltimore, they got embarrassed. I think Seattle's out for revenge, and I think this is the right game for Seattle to go up into the record at 6-3.
Yeah, I think so too. Commanders pulled out a win last week, but I think Seahawks are the better team on this one.
And I feel bad because we know Rivera, it's out at the end of the year.
Yeah, I like Rivera, but I think this is one of those situations where it's time for a change. They both need a fresh start somewhere. I don't know where he would go to coach. He probably maybe he'd go back to being a coordinator somewhere on a contending type team with somebody he's close with or something.
Well,
But
you're gonna have Patriots are gonna be looking for a coach. Who else over here that we know there's gonna be Bears are gonna be looking for a coach. Maybe the Panthers,
yeah, I mean, he played for the
Falcons.
Bears. I could see him. I could see him going back to Chicago possibly.
Yeah,
That might be a
that might be
potential
a good
fit.
fit for him to clean
Yeah.
house. He's the kind of coach that good high moral, go in there and clean house and get the ship going again.
I mean, look what he did back when he got Cam with the Panthers. I mean, he had a solid defense. He had a good quarterback. He had a lot to work with. And I mean, with the picks they've got, Chicago, he's a defensive guy. And Chicago's normally known for defense. I could see that being a really good fit.
I agree. I agree. All right, a couple more games here, my friend. We're almost coming up at the top
Really?
of the hour. Yeah, that's it. Raiders and Jets.
Ugh.
Jets, it's a 1 point favorite. I do not believe in this one at all. I think the Raiders are going to win this game. The Raiders defense is
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I
Max
don't believe
Crosby
in
is
Zach
going to be
Wilson.
all over Zach Wilson. Um, I mean, the Jets aren't going to be able to move the ball unless they might run a little bit, but yeah, Raiders, I think, are the players. They're rallying behind Pierce, and they are. I think they
But
are going to play their ass off the rest of this season to
so
get
that would
him the
be,
job.
yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. You're right. You're 100% right on that one. And then finally, and that's the Sunday night game, Raiders Jets.
The two
Jesus.
primetime games are just bad this week.
They had a shot to flex these games, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they would have flexed to. I mean, unless they could have maybe thrown the Jaguars, Niners
Jaguars
out there, or the
49ers,
Ravens, Browns.
Ravens Browns, and
Yeah,
then that's about Lions Chargers maybe.
maybe Lions, Chargers, but Chargers were already just a primetime game this past week too. So
Uh,
they 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 really
I
shot themselves in the foot with the teams on bye this week. I don't know how
Yeah,
they let
that's what
all
I'm
those
saying.
teams be on bye.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, those Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, Eagles. Wow. All
Yeah,
right, last game. Bills, Broncos, and you got Buffalo a full touchdown favorite on this one.
yeah. I think they're going to easily cover that. I think they're going to win by more than a touchdown on this one.
I'm torn on this one. Here's why. They play really good against the Chiefs
Yeah.
and beat the Chiefs. They held the Chiefs to less than 10 points. Bills are
Okay.
struggling. They are, I don't know
They
what
are
is
struggling.
going on. I got the Bills winning right now. I just don't know is 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 it enough?
Yeah, I mean, Steve says it here. Josh Allen, unpredictable, and that's been the case. Uh, he is unpredictable, inconsistent. I go back to what I said last week about the Bills. If they had a solid running back, I think the team would be a whole lot different. They are missing a running game. Like we said, Derrick Henry. If they could have picked up Derrick Henry to go with
Whoo!
those weapons, because I mean, everybody's just keying on their receivers. Everybody's shutting down
Yeah,
those guys, and they can't get anything going in the passing game. And Josh is trying not to run like he used to. I mean, he doesn't need to, but they just don't have any kind of running game, and it's just everybody's keying on the passing game, and they can't get any completions and move the ball.
exactly. Patrick Larson, you aren't lying. Listen, Steve, Giants covers up to Washington upset. Again, it's one of those things. The Jets defense is good. Again, I'm not saying that the defense is not good for the Jets. What I'm saying is that Zach Wilson absolutely is atrocious. I don't believe in
Yeah.
Zach Wilson. And I think if anything is going to be because the defense is going to be on the field for too much of a time that they're going to get tired and eventually they're going to start giving up points because of their offense is not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Pat's Colts, instant classic. Ugh. It's one of those things. It's classic Cole, and it should stay in the past because right now they're not good. Josh Allen, unpredictable, 100%. You know, like you just said it, Donnie. You know, he's not the same player that he used to be. Like, you know, they don't want him to be running and making those big, dumb, big running plays that he's doing because he's going to get injured a lot.
Yep.
And then Lynn, Broncos are icky. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Broncos. It's just who knows. So, yeah, those are our picks for this week. Do not take our word for it because we've absolutely been atrocious when it comes to picking. But we're going with what we know so far. And yeah, Donnie, thank you, my friend. This is always as fun as we're always having fun with this. So I'll probably this next week. See you Tuesday.
Okay.
Uh,
Yep. Oh, real quick, who've you got in Michigan Penn State? That's the one big college game this week.
We
With the
didn't talk
Harbaugh
about that whole
on Penn State,
situation.
pretty solid. Yeah, yeah. Well, we need to let more of that unfold and see what happens maybe by Tuesday.
Yeah, I think they need to let the process play itself out. Don't send anybody
Yeah.
yet. Don't do anything rash because then that can come to bite you in the ass later on. So I got Michigan still. I still got Michigan.
Yeah,
Penn State is
I think
really good.
Michigan's gonna. Yeah, I think Michigan's going to do it too. I think they want to make a statement a little bit. So, and the players are going to probably try to do everything they can to back up Harbaugh with their play.
A lot of people were talking about Harbaugh. It's like, if this goes down, even if he didn't know, he should have known. Yeah, this is team. You're the head coach. You're supposed to know
Yeah.
what goes on and what doesn't go on. And I don't want to hear it. He knew something about that.
Oh yeah. There's no way you're not. Even if other coaches were dealing with it, somebody had to say, Jim, man, this guy's got some great intel and some great info. And even if Jim said, well, how's he getting it? Coach is probably like, I don't know and I don't care, but it's good. So I could just see that conversation happen with any coaching staff anywhere, probably.
Yeah.
You don't want to know. You if it helps you, great. How'd you get it? Don't know, don't care.
And the fact that he's like, oh, we got evidence that Ohio State, Rutgers, and Purdue are conspiring against Michigan State. Dude, calm down.
Yeah.
Just because you got caught with the hand in the cookie jar. Shenanigans sadly put close game at Ohio State and then later on for the national championship later. That's going to be the game right there.
Yeah, 2 weeks from
Michigan, Ohio State. Then you got whoever wins goes to the Big Ten championship against Iowa. Most likely, who's going to be winning the West? Because God Almighty, well, I'm glad that we have new teams coming into the Big Ten next year because that whole West division in the Big Ten is just bad. It's not good.
There's a guy on, not talking about another show, but Dan Patrick show. There's a guy on there that does the betting because he does a betting app now.
Yeah.
Backroom guy. He's been taking Iowa and the under every game for 2 seasons now, and he keeps winning.
Really?
He says always bet Iowa and the under.
He keeps winning money. Why not? I mean, Iowa's boring. You're right, Lynn. They're bad, but they still can make it to the Big Ten championship. Why? Because that division is bad in football.
Yep.
In the Big Ten. So can't do anything about it right now until next year. Lynn, I'll bet Iowa Rutgers game. I want to bring a book. That's good. She's gonna be there. So yeah, make sure you bundle up because it's gonna be really cold and really boring. Until guys, thank you again so much for joining me tonight. And then my good friend, the mayor, Mr. Donnie Wise. I love the name. I really do love the name. We're gonna make hats and start selling stickers and all that fun stuff with that. But see you guys. Make sure you guys catch the Dead Hat Chronicles podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. We will be here again on Tuesday and Thursday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And until then, guys, be good, and then do not listen to anything we have to say when it comes to the NFL games because we absolutely know nothing.
We don't put any money on it, so
there you go. I'm not putting any money either. So, all right, guys, see you later. Bye.